sitting here and I just had an idea because I have to drive a couple of miles. So I thought I'm going to do a vlog so I can put it in during the week. So I had a person who contacted me a few days ago. They saw my video. One of the very first ones that I did was where 7 years ago when I started my channel, I had somebody install for me my carport. I think my carport is 12 high or a little bit higher in the middle than 12, but the beams are 12 high and it's 35 in the length. I don't remember the width, but I know it's super wide in the width. So I think it was 18 across. I'm not sure. It could be 18. And I paid about $3,000 7 years ago, and he told me that size now is about $8,000 to have somebody put that in for you now. And I thought, wow. And lately, because I've been doing the homesteading stuff, I've been thinking to myself, wondering if I did the wrong thing by investing my money into the carport and the porch instead of having done the fence first and maybe making a pole barn or a chicken coop or doing those things. But I realized that is not the case after and that was just quick things that came up in my head, but I realized, no, I did things the way that God showed me, he put in my heart to do. In other words, I needed a place for my RV because when I brought my uncle in, I wasn't traveling as much, so I had to protect that investment. And it's a good thing that I did because now I have it for the Airstream, I have it for my RV. If I sell the Airstream, I also have it for my truck camper. It's huge, so I could divide it in half and use the other half as a pole barn for animals in the future, because I have watched some videos and I've seen some stuff on Pinterest on how people divide these carports in half, and then one side is for a car and then the other side they use it for either for a horse or a pole barn, or they use it to keep goats and sheep and things like that. So I'm thinking God knew the timing precisely because he knew the cost that I was going to have to pay in the future if I didn't do it at the time that I did those things. So it was a good thing that I did those things back then, especially my fence, that I also had fence. And the other thing I did with my fence, which I'm really happy that I did decide to do, it cost me a little bit more, but the side mesh that I chose for my fence is the animal sized one, so that they don't get their hooves through it. And I realized all of that stuff costs way more money now. So I did a good thing when I built my fence, when I chose the right products. And that's just things you're going to have to do on the homestead, is make these decisions, because you cannot have a homestead with animals unless you have fencing. So if you only have a certain amount of money, like I did, I was budgeting myself every year. I mean, I did the carport, then I budgeted myself, then I did the porch, I paid for that outright. I had my porch put in so that I could enjoy the winters and the fall here in Florida. And my uncle could enjoy when he was living with us. He could sit out and look at the view. And then I did my fence. And I did my fence at a time that I had to do it because of security issues at home. But when I did it, I realized now it was a perfect timing because the price of fencing has gone up so much. So right now, I don't have anything major that I need to do with my house. The other thing that I also did in my house was I had to install a new roof. Now, the insurance did cover me for part of that, but part of it, because I wanted to upgrade something better, I had the skylights that I had to change the glass. I did end up paying a little bit more. That came out of pocket of me. So those are all major things that I had to do on my property. And there's just, you got to go into this her. So now I don't have to worry about the home at all. And then I took care of the fencing on the outside. And that was another thing that I did that was good. I did buy the proper fencing. So I just wanted to do this video, let you know that to pace yourself on the homestead, because things are super expensive and they cost a lot of money. And whenever you can go buy things that are like at a restore or something like that, look at those options, because a lot of people, you know, they upgrade their fences and they still have chain link fences and other things that you can buy secondhand that are reasonably priced compared to brand new right now. So I did pretty good. I think I'm doing great, and realize that homesteading is not something that you do on the fly really quick. You get everything done at once, and that's going to cause you to get into debt. Take your time and pace yourself and do the projects yourself, and it's going to cost you way less. All right, thank you for watching, and that was a little bit of information for those of you that are interested in homesteading, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Hey, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.